Your credit score is the deciding factor on whether or not you can get that business loan, house mortgage, or even an auto loan. Now, your credit score is used for a lot more than that, like credit cards, phone bill. It's basically the number that tells the bank how reliable you are at paying off your debts. These 5 tips are super important to building your credit. And if you wait till the end, I will give a bonus tip on how to grow your credit score. Now, what exactly is a credit score? Credit score is basically a score that the bank gives you that tells other people how reliable you are at paying off your debts. So the higher the credit score, the higher you can loan out at a lower interest rate, but the lower the score, the lower amount you can loan out at a higher interest rate. Now, buying small things with your credit card will actually help boost your credit score. Buy a pack of gum on your credit card, but pay it off immediately. This shows the bank that you're comfortable with using debt and you're good at paying it off at the same time. Now, don't be loading on like thousands of dollars that you know you can't pay off. Only bite off what you can chew. People think that whenever there's a huge ass limit on their card that they can go run it up and max it all the way out. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. That's a huge red flag to banks. Basically, what you're showing them is that you're okay to be heavily leveraged and not being able to pay it off. So people get in this cycle where it's like, oh, well, I have my check coming in this Friday, so I'm going to use my credit card now and then pay it off. No, don't do that. Do not do that. Use only 30% of your credit limit. Now you're probably wondering, well, what the hell? Why would I do that? Because you're basically telling the bank that you are responsible and that you are only putting on as much as you can pay off. I understand that it might be exciting to get your first credit card and you want to go and apply for 8 or 9 different credit cards, but I recommend that you just stick with the one that your bank offers for free. Get that cashback credit card or whatever it is, just sign up for it. They'll basically approve you right away. But work up to those premium credit cards. I mean, they don't come overnight. Now, the reason I say this is because banks do what's called a hard inquiry on your account. So they'll go to the credit bureau and be like, hey, how is John Smith's credit? And then every bank that you apply with, they do that each time. So that's about 10, 20, 30 points right off your credit score, just like that. And in the beginning, you can't really afford to do that. A huge misconception is that credit cards are bank accounts. Now listen, this is the most important tip on this list. People tend to see that $4,000, $8,000 credit limit and then they'll go spend all the way up to it. As previously stated in point 4, banks don't like when you do that. They like when you spend that 30% tops. Aim to spend less than that. If you're ever buying something expensive, preload your card before purchasing that big purchase. So if you're going to buy an $800 iPad or a $700 speaker, I don't know, whatever you do with your money, preload the money onto the card before so it doesn't hurt as much. Now, just like opening an account, closing an account can also affect your credit score. Now listen, if it's bleeding you dry every year with that annual fee, cut it off, and it's okay. Your credit score is not that deep. If you're just closing it for the sake of closing a card, like you have a free card and then you close it, that's just gonna affect your credit score. It's gonna do more harm than good. So what I strongly recommend is just put little micro purchases on that card that don't really matter, but always pay that card off because, you know, it's extra credit that you might need someday. I recommend downloading Credit Karma. I'm not affiliated with them in any way possible, even though, you know, come on guys, I'd like that. But it tells you your credit score and it will help you make recommendations on how to build it. Now, if you're listening, you're probably like, well, Parker, how does it get your credit score? It doesn't take any hard inquiries on your account. It does what's called a soft inquiry instead. It will basically just kind of give you an estimate at where you're at so you kind of know where you're going. Building and managing your credit takes time and it's a long process. But you know what's not a long process? Is hitting that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.